Hello, this is James Arthur Ray, the author of the New York Times bestseller Harmonic Wealth, and my latest book, Life Unleashed: How to Live Life on Your Own Terms, Harness Your Unique Genius, and Have Maximum Impact on the World. Let's talk today for a couple of minutes about chaos and order. Now, I bet that you have a preference for one or the other, and I would bet that I could guess which one it is, right? Chaos and order. Here's what we know in the field of psychology, in the field of neurosciences, other fields as well, even chemistry, which I'll talk to you about in a moment, is that you grow the most when you're on the border of chaos and order. Now, I'm not going to suggest to you that it's comfortable to be on the border. In fact, it's not comfortable. It's quite uncomfortable, to say the least, in many, if not all cases. But you grow the most when you're on the border of chaos and order. And so if your objective in this universe, in this lifetime, is to develop, advance, and grow, which it is, because that's what the universe is all about, then you must assertively and consistently seek that border between chaos and order. Now, what psychology tells us is that we have a high need for what psychologists call psychic order. In other words, we're attempting to make an orderly construct in our minds of our world and life and living. Now, that makes sense to you, right? Now, if we go to thermodynamics, we know that the second law of thermodynamics is increasing entropy, also known as chaos. And so what thermodynamics tells us is that everything in this universe is moving from a state of order into a state of increasing entropy. Now, do you see a conflict here? We have a high psychic need to create psychic order, to put things into a construct, to understand them, to hopefully control them. And that's illusion, right? We can never control anything except our experience of life situations. And yet, even though we have this high need for psychic order, the universe in many ways is working against us. Are you with me? Because thermodynamics, law 2 says increasing entropy. Everything is moving into an increasing state of entropy or chaos. So how do we combat this? Well, first and foremost, we must understand that all new birth, all new growth, all new innovation, all new creative ideas come forth from chaos. Now, everything in this universe is comprised of 99.99999% what? Energy. Correct. And energy is always in a state of flux. It's always in a state of motion. In science, we call that a frequency. And so what we're attempting to do is to take this energy, which in its natural state is free-flowing, vibrating, pulsating in this high frequency, and we're attempting to slow it down and to order it so that we can create psychic order in our own minds, so that we can navigate and circumnavigate through life experiences. Does that make sense to you so far? Now, I know these are some heady subjects, but follow with me because this is important. So a couple of things we've discussed, let's just recap, is that the universe is always increasing in entropy because energy is always in a state of flux. So order is an unnatural state. And yet we have a high need for psychic order, for psychic organization, because we feel more relaxed, more calm, more in control when we have some degree of psychic order. So how do we create this? Even though it's an unnatural state, simply put, by setting a specific intention. Please put this in your notes if you're taking notes. Intention brings order to the mind. Now, mounds of research with hundreds of thousands of people over years and years and years, conducted by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, the psychologist, and many others, prove that when we set a goal or an intention, it automatically brings order to our mind. It automatically increases our happiness, fulfillment, our engagement, our excitement, our enthusiasm, our inspiration. Just the fact that we set an intention. Now, The flip side of that is that every time we set an intention, we also set up a challenge. Because challenge, chaotic, right? Entropy. Challenge is what ensues or comes out of setting a specific intention. When you set an intention to go after something, you create your own challenges. And so you say to me, well, James, I'm just not going to set an intention. Well, even setting an intention to not set an intention is setting an intention. You cannot not set a goal or intention. Every single thing in your life is the outcome or the process of setting and achieving goals. So, what is your intention for your life? Is it clear? Is it specific? Is it definite? Because to the degree you do not have that clarity of intention, then you have psychic entropy. And you say, well, James, I'm confused now because you said that entropy is part of this universe regardless. It is. But you see, as you navigate through this ever-ending, never-ending field of vibration and flow, when you have a clear direction, when you have an intention, then it brings order to your mind. It doesn't bring order necessarily to the energy and the flux and the flow, but it brings order to your mind. And the challenges then become meaningful. Does that make sense to you? Man, I hope you're getting this. I know it's a bit heady today, but if you get it, then you'll get it. It'll give you something to contemplate and think about. Go back and watch this video again and take some notes if you didn't. Think about it deeply, ponder it fully, and I hope I've given you some things to do that with. Until we speak again, stay awake, love life, and be epic.